And hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So the first and foremost thing we need to figure out is where we're putting the dragon head, which I have two ideas. One is we put it at the end here. The only problem with this idea is it's not symmetrical, so that I don't know about that one. The other idea I have is we put it at the end here above the doorway. Now the problem with this is whenever you get close, it looks a little wonky. So what I think maybe what we could also do is we could put it in here for the moment. Just like, it's got to be lower, eye level. I think what we'll do is we'll put the dragon in whatever the most recent milestone build is, which I'm still not sure if I want to do one for 500 or not. But I guess that's something that'll probably be decided based off of, how long it takes to get to 500 and stuff like that. Because if we get to 500 fairly quickly, I probably won't do a milestone event for that. But okay. So now the next thing I want to mention is I want to try out new paths for the village. The first thing I want to try, I don't think it's going to fly, but I want to try like this gravel, cobblestone, and path mixture and see how it works out in the village. I'm kind of okay with it, but at the same time, I'm not in love with it. Just here for this little test, but we'll see what it looks like in a little stretch of the village. Okay, so I'm thinking the best spot to try this out at is probably going to be over here. Just rip up, like, parts of the path as we head down here. About yay far. Just that way, I can kind of then mix it up with the cobblestone and gravel. And it's going to be a pain to get all this path back if I decide to keep this. I mean, not keep this. Which I'm really not sure yet. Okay, I like it. I'm not going to pretend I don't like it. Now, there is a problem I have with it. It gives a bit more of a feel of an overgrown village, and that's not really what I'm trying to go for. So I don't think we're going to do this exact mixture. We might do something like this in like a little smithing stand sort of thing outside. But yeah, this is a new trick I added to my arsenal, which is, having paths like this with blocks like cobblestone. Because here's kind of how I've learned to... is one of my best bets to improve my building is take something I see, like I saw somebody on the Parcraft server. They mix together like cobblestone, stone, and another block to make like a little area for their outside kind of smithing sort of area. So then what I did was I incorporated that. I used cobblestone, stone, smooth stone, and smooth andesite so that it would be a different look, where basically make it my own but use what they've done to improve my own building. And I feel like that's been working well for me so far. I don't know, it feels a bit weird to say out loud, but then part of what happens is ultimately I managed to mix together multiple different styles of building and get something that's uniquely my own. But yeah, so that was kind of the only idea I had for the path though. So I'm gonna come back to making the path. Now, one thing I do want to get done this episode, give me one sec. Okay, so I got some cobblestone now, so we're gonna drop down here. What I want to do is I want to make like not all of this, but just like a little chunk of round here cobblestone instead of grass, because I feel like grass kind of doesn't feel right in this shaded kind of area. Feels like something like cobblestone might look a bit more normal. So we're going to come in and lay out a layer of cobblestone and take a look at how this looks. I'm going to turn down my volume a bit because those mob noises are going to drive me insane. But okay. This is supposed to be a pathway down. And I don't know how big of a difference this is going to make. Probably pretty small all in all, but I feel like to a degree the best stuff you see is a combination of small details. And yeah, I feel like that's a little better. I also want to branch out a bit on all the sides. I'm going to just take care of that real quick. Okay, now that I have this pretty much done for what I want to do with it, besides maybe stretching it a bit further out like that, but honestly, this looks really nice. I didn't expect to like this much, but it really improves the look. And one of the main things it does is it makes it look like it's not a mistake that this tower is made out of cobblestone, which I feel like is big. So yeah. So one thing I do want to mention that I'm not sure about yet is with the mob grinder, I kind of want to turn it into an insta-kill now that we're going to be able to get experience from the end. But the big thing is, I have gotten a ton of gunpowder from this, but I have a looting 3 sword. So I get extra gunpowder and bones and stuff like that when I kill the monsters, and I don't know if I want to lose that. So I don't fully know if I want it to be insta-kill or not yet. Something I'm trying to decide, but it's like, let's see here, 32, 34, 2 gunpowder, which, you know, then we kill another one. 1 gunpowder. Okay, not great. That wasn't a great example of it, but just in general, we get a lot more gunpowder than we would normally. Wow, creepers are just showing up to try and prove my point. Yeah, we go 1 to 2 instead of 0 to 1, which I feel like has made a big difference in the amount of gunpowder we've been stocking up on lately. So yeah, I don't know. So we've mostly worked on finishing up projects this episode. And by finishing up, I mean, you know, working on some stuff and adding a bit of smaller details. But there's something else I want to try out. So this is very much so going to be a bit more experimental. I'm going to need to get some bone meal. Okay, so basically what I want to do is kind of in this general area create like a heavy wooded type feel using big spruce trees and then like foliage on the ground and like some smaller spruce trees in between the big spruce trees. So like basically something like about this distance between the spruce trees, right? And then we'll put like a spruce tree here, spruce tree here. This sort of ordeal to give a really heavy wooded feel. And then like back here we'll put even more large trees to add to the effect. Okay, and then using like some leaves and junk from this stuff kind of create more of a heavy foliage feel on the ground, which frankly these low-hanging spruce trees might actually be enough to create that sort of impression. Yeah, let's go out another 2 big spruce trees, right? And it's not going to be just straight in a straight line because that would look weird. Oh yeah, that'll work. We don't need... I don't think I'm going to need to even add extra foliage. Maybe a little bit, but as long as I leave the spruce trees fairly close together. Man, it was the right idea to grab so much bone meal. To kind of give this feeling of kind of a branched off area that, you know, this is very clearly the wall of where my general base area is. Because, like, you know, I've had kind of a general idea for a while, but something a bit more concrete might be pretty cool. At least for this end, because this is the end that you'd notice the most for the way my base branches. Because the village kind of creates a barrier for there. The mountains and the thanks sign adds a barrier for there. The ocean over that way. And then this way, all the mountains this way, mountains once again, and then we got the dark oak forest this way. So it kind of creates barriers at the base all along the sides, except for over here. So I feel like if I went further down with some more spruce trees, it might make a cool effect. So I'm going to use the rest of these saplings on big spruce trees, going down to around that area and a little further that way. And then I'll see about some smaller spruce trees depending on how much saplings I have left. How many? Okay, so... Wait, let me get a little lower. I was a bit too high up. Let's see here. So... that gives, honestly, a really great effect. I didn't have enough saplings to move that way too. But, the big thing is that I definitely need to have more of a forest behind this rather than a lot of open space. Like, I'm going to need big trees going out to at least back here pretty much. It wouldn't be as bad if I had spruce forest here, but we don't. So I kind of... yeah, I'm going to need to bring it a lot further back. And for that, I'm going to need to get a lot of saplings. So I need a Fortune 3 hoe. I'll probably make it netherite whenever I have the extra netherite. I still need leggings and helmet. And this helmet's about to give. But, yeah. So then I'll make it netherite at some point. But, like, back here, where it's just at the edge, it gives such a nice effect. And that's just because I had to lower my render distance. Because flying quickly in Elytras causes a little bit of lag. But yeah, once you get a little closer, it's very clear that it's out of place since you can see behind it and it's just a line of trees. Like, if I had put the big trees a little closer to each other, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, but there's big enough gaps that, yeah, we're going to need to add some more layers of big spruce trees. But if you want a decent feel of what it's going to look like, just come back here and take a look. It's gorgeous. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, this is probably going to be mentioned quite late in the video, but we're going to have a second video out today. I'm doing a second Parkcraft episode because, well, you'll find out in that video why I did it. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.